Alright, so I'm here with,
Rowan DeVera. I'm a senior at Oxford High.
alright, so how did you start out playing tennis?
I started out playing tennis when I was like around 8. My dad got me into it because he always had played tennis. And then from there, I just started playing tournaments, and then I got into like the competitive scene. I just kept training until now, honestly. But I mean, yeah, I really first started getting competitive and serious about it when I was like 10.
Okay, so how did you start getting into tournaments? What was the process looking like?
The process was like, well, it was different back then than it is now, because back then people used to use like different like compression balls and stuff just for like younger kids, and it was really competitive back then too. So like it was sort of like a thing where like people around you or in your state did it and you knew those people, they tell you to get into it. Then once you start getting into like the midst of things, that's when like you start signing up for more things, you play more tournaments, and then the incentive to play more tournaments is you get more points, and the more points you have, you can get into bigger tournaments where you're playing better players from different states, better states.
So what would you say has changed with the competitive scene? You said it's changed.
I mean, it's changed obviously because the people who were playing then aren't playing now, and obviously as you grow older, you're going to be playing a lot of better people. And then now where I'm at, you're at the age where there are college coaches there, everybody's getting recruited, and everybody's just a lot better. I mean, there's a huge difference from kids when you're 12 and now when you're 18. You're just playing guys who are bigger, stronger, better, and you've kind of got to adapt to that, you feel?
Yeah, so you're talking about college coaches. Have you been recruited by anybody? Or?
Yeah, I've been talking to a decent deal of coaches. I've been trying to narrow it down. I'm obviously my number one spot that I want to go is Ole Miss. I'm trying to secure my spot on the team there. But I mean, if I wanted to play like a lot more, because I mean, Ole Miss is so competitive. You've got people like Gordon, who's another kid from Oxford, who's really good, but he's not going to see the court. So I mean, maybe you can get a spot on the team, but you're not going to play. So it just depends on what you want out of college tennis, whether or not you want to play, whether or not you want to go to a school for a good education, like what you want to do. It's all depends on that.
And so you would rather go to a bigger school and not get as much court time?
I would, I'd say, because, I mean, as much as I do love tennis, like, tennis isn't everything to me. Like, I honestly want to have good college experience, make a lot of friends, and more importantly, I want to get a good education. So, I mean, and it's, of course, for Ole Miss, I mean, I could go there for pretty much free no matter what. So, I mean, that seems like a smart option whether or not I'm playing tennis.
Okay, so, have you been traveling around for tennis, going to different places? Have you?
Yeah, I mean, I've traveled all over the South to play tennis. I mean, I've played in every southern state. I've played in Florida a couple times. I'm playing a tournament this week in San Diego. So I mean, tennis really, it can take you all over the world. I mean, if you're good enough. And the best part about it to me is it lets you meet people. I mean, I think, like, I know how it may sound, but like the relationships you can make through tennis and the people you meet is really like, it's something else. I mean, I've made my best friends ever, just met them through tennis, and so we still talk even though we don't live close to each other, but you get how it is.
Yeah. Who would you say the best person you've ever gone and played in, or the hardest tournament you've ever gone to would be?
Hardest tournament would probably be Super Nats in Orlando. I mean, you're playing guys over there, they're animals, dude. I mean, these guys, like, they're training like crazy, dude, and it's a difference between training here in Oxford where there are like no actual coaches, or you're training in Florida on the national campus where you're training with professional players. I mean, it's like night and day, and the fact, if you're still able to hang with those guys, then you're doing something right. So that was a good one.
So you said that Florida's like the kind of top place?
Yeah, Florida, California, and Texas, or in America at least. But most of the best players aren't even coming from America. So.
Okay. And so, what do you see coming up for your future? Like just the immediate future, let's say.
Immediate future? I mean, well, we're going into high school tennis season soon, so I mean, obviously that'll be taking up my time. So I mean, I'm hoping to do well. I'm hoping to win state, and I'm hoping to do well in California, and just keep training until I can really narrow down my options for college and see where I'm going to end up. And yeah, that's what I'm looking for in the foreseeable future.
All right, I think do it, man.
All right.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks, man.